Hey, everybody. Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz, Love After Lockup edition. My name is Brianna, and my lovely co host, Mary, is under the weather tonight and will not be joining us. And same with our moderator. So it's just you and me, babe, one on one. And if I can't catch up or keep up with the comments, I apologize in advance. But I'll be happy to be here alone with you. So I'll wait a second and then I'll start talking. Hi, Yuli. I was just explaining Mary's not going to be here tonight. Hey, hey. We have no moderator. My co-host is under the weather. We are live. Yes, I see you, Christy. Hi, Taylor. Long time. How's the baby? Hi, Catherine. Oh, well, yeah. All right. I won't keep explaining it, but we have no moderator. We have no co-host. You have just me. At least I washed my hair for this. So hopefully that'll make up for something. I'll try to keep up with the comments. I'll do the best I can. And the other thing I'm wishing right now is that YouTube had like a polling feature, because I would really like to poll the group and say, how many of you felt that this car chase went on just a little bit too long? Anyone? Because I did. I was falling asleep during this whole car chase thing. Christy. Well, I'm sorry that you missed the lives, and I'm glad that you're here too. So what did you guys think about this crazy car chase? I was cracking up, and then after a while, I was like, okay. The poor producer. Thank you. Nice compliment. The poor producer in the front seat I saw a meme that said, I literally don't get paid enough for this shit. And I believe that to be true, like dangerous, right? And Monique looks like she's going to flip out. And, when you're driving and then you get really nervous about something and then people are telling you what to do, like that's like the perfect moment to get into an accident. So I felt for them all too long and too dumb. I'm with you, sis. That's exactly it. Too long and too dumb. You got to wonder, is there a dearth of content? So they've got to sort of fill it in with stuff like this, because I would say it was boring, but the amusing parts were Monique's face. Her eyes were like as big as dinner plates. And she's like, I can't do this. And she goes from ready to, I'm going to hop out and deal with those bitches, to like, I got to call the police. And she just doesn't know what to do. And the producer is looking like, okay, this is my last night on earth. So the car chase was the funniest thing you've seen so far, says Janet. I just felt like these people are really short for content, which is strange because I actually think this is a decent season. Like, I like the cast on this season. They're more interesting than some of the previous ones. Like, we've seen some casts just kind of go on and go on. Or actually, maybe it's that Love During Lockup was so, I don't want to say boring, but I guess that's the word, since nothing happened, nobody was saved, nobody died, nothing changed. So, but this is sort of a refreshing change of pace, but this car scene looked like it just lasted for 5 days. Anyway, that's what I have to say about that. Anyone else? Someone says, I do not think it was his sister in the car. No, because we ended the episode with him saying, I know who was in the car and I didn't want Monique to know, and it wasn't my sister's. So like, he's got some kind of other, who knows, right? Like, it looks like there's another woman who's in the car behind him and he's going to go see this person, but we are intentionally led astray often on this show. So who knows for sure. So yes, and I agree with you, Janet. Monique went from tough to scared in a few minutes. That said, what if this car chase literally went on for like 5 hours and this is just what they cut it down to? I would freaking panic, but also I would panic if I was that producer in the front seat with her, because I would be like, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna die. Because once somebody starts panicking like that, it's like, he's like, take a right, take a right, take a right. And she's like, oh, I'm taking a right. And she's skidding out. Anyway, I don't think this guy Derek is on the up and up. I just don't. I would really like to believe that he cares for her, because I just don't like anyone leading anyone astray. And also, I got to admit some bias here as a woman who used to weigh literally 90 pounds more than I do today. And I am 5 feet tall. Like, I'm all in for the woman who's feeling herself and she's confident and she's persevering. She's overcoming her own body image hurdles with this guy. I want him to appreciate her. And so far it seems like he does. So like I'm pro Monique and I'm pro Dan, except if you've seen all the posts on social media, Monique has been pretty awful about his sisters, but the sisters are appalling too. None of these people are really people I want to hang out with, put it that way. Capricorn 11 says that car chase scene. She says the car chase scene was the best thing about the episode. Can you elaborate on that? I mean, I thought it was a lot. He's cheating, says Parisha. Maybe it's something different altogether. Who knows? We will not know for a while. But yeah, I'm glad they didn't crash, because I don't want anyone to get hurt. That's for sure. So any other last thoughts about the car chase? I'm looking at the comments. There's always a little delay between live and the comments. So I'll just see if you guys have anything else to say about that. Any other theories? Somebody says they think he's cheating. Are there any other theories about who's in the car? I don't think it's his sisters, but his sisters, they're bitches. I don't like the fat shaming, but I also don't like the trans shaming. There's too much shaming going on, and I just don't like any of it. I also hope he's not like a horrible gambler who's using her or anything. And I would love, wouldn't it be cool if in a beautiful world, he and Monique stayed together and he works out with her in the gym. She gets really healthy, and it's not about how she looks, but it's about her health, and she is doing well and strong, and they get married. I just don't think that's ever going to happen. I feel that this is an ill-fated coupling and that nothing good will come of it. That is my opinion. And might be, Catherine says it might be an interesting old gang friend. Okay. I know all my old gang friends are very interesting. All right. So speaking of old gang friends, let's talk about Skylar and Nathan, shall we? Because this guy goes all the way off the cliff here. Like, he is spiraling because he takes his girl out to dinner. I don't know if he was planning to propose to her. Several times throughout the dinner, he says to her, stand up. And I'm thinking he wants her to stand up so that he can get on one knee. I don't know. But he definitely showed enough of his colors that I would run the other fucking way, whether you just got out of prison or not. Like, this guy is like a million warning signs mixed into one. And I'm not even just talking about like the Shane Whitlow school of facial grooming, because the beard gotta go, bro. It's just not okay. Okay, it's not okay. So they go out to dinner, and so of course, like, the last episode, production leaves us with this thought, like, oh my God, maybe Nathan has overdosed and Skylar is so triggered because he's not answering the phone, and he always answers the phone, and she runs home and they go into the bedroom and he's napping for 5 hours, which I feel like maybe when I was in my 20s, I napped for 5 hours, but I cannot even imagine right now napping for more than like a half hour. So I envy you, Nathan. But also, like, come on, do we really need like instantaneous responses to texts? But yeah, she's got PTSD from these guys dying on her. I get it. So he just, the more I see him, the more I think he's an asshole. Nathan is very scary and he has an anger problem. This is Rabiel. That's how I see it, because to get mad at the person because they answered the phone, that's a problem. Yuli sleeps for hours. Okay. Mary's not here, so let's talk about her. So Mary was here visiting me for a week, which was awesome. Like, it was even more epic than knowing her on Zoom. And she is my best friend, and I just loved being with her. But that woman is on her phone like 24/7. And there were a couple times when I was just like, can you just be present with me for a minute? Because I'm starting to feel like second fiddle to your phone here. So I know she can't hear us, so I'll tell you that. But so I understand that perspective, but I also think what's important is to remember she's been out of prison for what, 4 days, 3 days? So there are people who are, haven't seen her in a really long time, want to connect with her. Apparently, this is a guy from grade school. He knows about this guy, so he shouldn't be jealous. At the same time, I understand that, like, if you're with me one-on-one, like, be present with me. So I'm sort of like 6 of one, half dozen of another on that whole issue. What do you guys think? You went from 0 to 100 in a second. Red flag, says Janet. I'm with you. Like, calm the fuck down. Like, calmly state your needs. That is my feeling. Calmly state your needs. If she does not respond to your needs, that's a different story. Escalate slowly. But yeah, it is a red flag when you go from 0 to 1,000 in like 5 seconds. And if this dude asks one more time, am I a bitch? Do you think I'm a bitch? Am I a bitch? First of all, like, I take exception to it because I'm not exactly sure what he means by bitch, but what my instinct tells me is that he's saying, do you find me to be a weak female? Because that is the vibe that I get from that comment. And also, I will just say, I don't like when women call each other bitches either. Like, we don't need to be put down by any other kind of, like, we're put down in enough in the world. Like, we don't need to be calling each other bitch, hey bitch, hey bitch. And if you do, that's cool. Maybe I'm old, whatever. But do you think I'm a bitch? What does that mean? Do you think, like, what I feel like he's saying is, do you think I'm a woman? Because that seems to be the meaning for bitch that these people all use. So if he's saying, do you think I'm a woman? Then I would clearly say, no, you're not. You're not even half of what a woman should be. Because we are stronger, tougher, smarter, etc. than you. So no. And if you mean, am I just a patsy for you to do whatever you think you should do to me? I would also say, I don't think that's what's going on. Should he have said, maybe, can you call him back after dinner? I would say that would be valid. Like, they're trying to have their first date together. I don't personally think she should have answered the phone, but like, more and more, I'm starting to see how when we're just glued to our phones all the time, like, we're missing the moment. And the moment is important because you may never get that moment back. So savor real life, savor your in-person relationships, and say, if you have to, text and say, I'm so glad to be back and I will catch up with you right after dinner. That's my feeling about it. Anyone else have thoughts? Niece Alicia says, no, he's a Mitch. What does that mean? He should have said that. Catherine and I are old enough to say we remember when people weren't on the phone during dinner. But seriously, it is rude, right? Like, we have so little face-to-face time with people Don't fucking talk on the phone when I'm with you. Certainly not on our first date. I do think he could have handled it more nicely. Anyway, so at least he complimented her beautiful highlights, because that takes a long time to get highlights like that. And she does look hot. You can just look at this girl and be like, wait a minute. Deidre, did he say the N-word? I did not hear that. But if he did, then I'm extremely upset at that. And I am not cool with that. There's no situation in which that is okay. Period. End of story. But I'm glad he complimented her highlights because it takes a long time to get those highlights. I'm going on Tuesday to get mine toned up. But don't you get the feeling that Skylar has grown up with a lot of privilege? Like, she's one of those girls who I feel like has never had to work very hard for anything. And I just see that based on like her mom and her mom coming with all the designer clothes for her, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. And that kind of bothers me. Catherine says he said the F word a lot. Well, I fucking do too. So I apologize for that right fucking now. I definitely do. And I'm not down with the N word, none of these things. And Janet says, people have to learn how to be in the moment. Cherish the time with your loved ones, friends, and family. Yes. And has COVID not taught us that? Like, I don't know how many of you were kept away from your friends and family and the people you loved, or maybe, God forbid, you lost someone that you loved. I lost a couple of people in the last year, not because of COVID, but my father died. One of my best friends died. And I just feel like, yes, when we are together in the moment, be there, be there. You have time to answer that phone call after. There's plenty of time later. I think he was going to propose and he felt like he had his thunder stolen, but she stayed very calm, which I thought was good. Even though she does seem like some kind of country club bitch, which, whatever. I don't know what to say about that. So, I don't know what's going on. Like, he just is aggressive. I feel like he's a very reactive individual. And there's a whole lot of red flags, like Janet said, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. Whole lot of red flags going on, including the facial hair. If anyone disagrees, please feel free to speak up. I do not like him. It's her childhood BFF. We're allowed to have those, right? Like, it's 2023. We can have opposite sex friends, I believe. And I mean, he knew about this person. So, like, calm the fuck down, dude. Seriously. Anyway, it's not going well. Capricorn 11, why are you bringing up the Philly thing? What about Philly? Okay, I'll have to wait. Like I said, there's a delay before I can see the chat, so I don't always know what's up. Anyway, I don't know where they went out to dinner, but that looked really nice, didn't it? I was like, I want to eat outside. It looks really nice and warm out. All right, so let's move on to Mike and Justine. So I really do have a tiny little crush on Mike. I can't help it. I love what the guys with the hair. I just can't help myself. And actually, for some reason, I'm starting to really like Justine a lot too. Like, I didn't like her that much last season, but the more, anyone here in that? Okay. The more I watch her, Justine, this season, the more I like her too. So I'm not exactly sure why. I don't think it's good for her to be really up in the face of her new mother-in-law. But I also think that what she was trying to say about her kid was like, yeah, my kid might have tattoos, but she's an honor student and she's doing great. And like, these things don't necessarily correlate. And I have stated that I too have tattoos and piercings and stuff. I have 2 master's degrees. I do well in my business. Those things are not one-to-one. You can be all those things now. I understand that grandma's not down with that for real. But still that conversation didn't go well. And somehow I still like Justine. And Christy says they're cute together, matching outfits and all. And it's funny. I talked to my husband about it. I was like, "Would you do that, honey?" And he was like, "No." And then later, I don't know, this is a little bit off topic. I don't know how many of you realize that the town that I live in has been ravaged by floods. And if you have seen any of the news coverage of the California floods, where they start showing the beach town with the pier that's cut in two and all that, that is where I live. And President Biden was at the remains of our favorite restaurant this week, which was sort of gut-wrenching. I appreciate it. Send the FEMA funds, do what you can. But my son, there's a pizza restaurant that's selling these Rebuild Capitola shirts, and it's going to benefit some of the restaurants that were destroyed down there on the beach. And my son said, "I feel like Andrew," that's my husband, "would love it if we had matching shirts." And this is something I thought like my husband would never do, but this is his stepson. He's a little bit estranged from his own son. And it was kind of this beautiful Mike and Justine moment where I thought, man, that's so cute. My kid wants to match with his stepdad. And sure enough, Andrew was like, "I love that." So maybe sometimes matching is okay. Checking the comments. Give me books and wine. My husband always wants to match me and I hate it. LOL. I would freak out too. Like, don't match me. I seriously, like, whatever. But I mean, what's really funny is he's the one who wanted to match, not her. It was him. At least that's what she said. I don't know. Capricorn 11. I don't even like twins and matching clothes for sure. Although yesterday I saw this really cute family with these 3 little girls, one who was like in a stroller, and these 2 girls, one was like 7 and one was like 3, and they had matching adorable pink tutus and stuff. And the mom had them posing for a picture, and it was the cutest thing ever. Seriously. But yeah, in general, barf. So I did like that Justine and Mike's mom, they went and talked. Justine was like, "I'm sorry that I went off on you. We were friends before. I want to be your friend after. We're family." And they tried to make amends. Mom was very honest. She's like, "Things are going to be awkward and we're going to have to mend them." But I did feel like everyone tried to humble themselves and bring it back together. So here is what I would like to ask y'all. And I do really wish that there was a polling feature here so in real time we could get a count. But how many of you think that Mike and Justine are going to stay together? That's my first question for you. And second of all, how sincere were those, I want to say, apologies on both sides? Do you think that's going to last? Do you think that is just, I'm trying to save face for the cameras? Is this going to work? Is she going to be contrite or what? Anyone have any thoughts? Okay, we're still in the twin conversation. I'll get back with you in a minute because, like I said, there's a delay in the chat. So then Justine was talking about she felt like his mom made her into the angry Black woman. And that was an interesting comment because I don't know, these people all look mixed to me. They all look tan. I have no idea where they're from, but I was surprised she came out with that. Anyone else feel the same way too? Like, I don't know where that came from. She wants me to be the angry Black woman. I don't know. I hope that they get it together. I definitely do. And yes, they are seeing a side of Justine that they haven't seen before. And welcome to the family, because that's how this goes. Anyway, the kids go home to Rhode Island, and that is sad. And Mike goes to parole and finds out he cannot leave for 60 days. So that's a really big bummer for him. And he seems as though, okay, Catherine gives them 2 years. Capricorn 11 says that they're Dominican, I think. And that is what I think too, which, like, I don't know if we have a definition of what Black means, but to me, I think a lot of Dominican people are people that we would call Black. Also, his father looks like maybe he's Middle Eastern. He has like some kind of Arabic last name. I have no opinion on this. I felt like that was kind of a leap, all of it. I didn't think the angry Black woman part was part of it. I think there was just like a whole lot of, you haven't been in the picture. I've been trying to keep my granddaughters safe from any bad influences. Like, I feel like best intentions were on all sides. That said, if I were a Black woman, I would probably be very sensitized to that too. And I would also probably feel like being angry, would always be a risk that I would be the angry Black woman, right? Nobody wants to be a stereotype. And there are plenty of stereotypes that people have about people like me too. And for a number of different qualities that I have, I won't go into them, but nobody wants to feel like a stereotype. I just don't think angry Black woman jumped into my head when I saw Justine going off. Maybe it was because the mom was like, well, you had your hands moving like this, and you had your head moving like that, and you had your hands all up in my face. Like, maybe that, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just said, keep taking care of your honor student. She's doing well, belly button ring or no, totally not important. So here's what I'd like to ask you guys. How sincere is Mike? He talks about how devastated he is that he will not be able to see his children, that they'll be in Rhode Island. He's been talking this whole time about how devastated he is about not being able to see his kids all the time. Is he as sincere a father as he appears to be? What are your thoughts? And yes, Catherine, of course you try to keep your grandchildren safe. And I've seen my mother be very protective of my son, even though I also try to keep my child safe. But yeah, it's a thing. And but so do you think Mike is as good a dad as he appears to be? Is this a little bit of PR? Is it that he's been gone for so long, he has a lot of guilt? Like, what is that? Or is he just as dreamy as he seems? Because he's so hot. He's so fucking hot, just saying. And he's also worried because he can't leave the state. And how will this affect his career? His career with or without the wedding ring? I don't know. Any thoughts, Mike? Justine? Okay, I'll get back to the comments soon. Moving on to Chris and Gabby. For this one, I'm going to do my shot. I would like to apologize if I offended anyone last week with my comments about Gabrielle. I may have offended Gabrielle, just saying. So I apologize for offending you, Gabby, and anyone else, and any other snap judgments I might be making about this couple. So let me stick to what I see on the episode, which is one, this man does not know how to use a Keurig machine. And that does not mean he's stupid. Maybe he's been in prison for a long time and he hasn't seen a lot of Keurig machines. Fair. Wait, he can put the ring on a necklace. We're talking about Mike and Mike's ring. He made the choice to be away from his kids. He was full of it. Interesting. Okay. Why is he moving to Las Vegas if he misses them so much? Yeah, we'll see. I just want Mike to be perfect. Why can't he be perfect? Why can't the hot guys all be perfect? So back to Chris and Gabby. He does not know how to use the coffee machine. And I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt until she shows him one time. Then he better figure it out, because it's literally like, put the thing in, push a button, put the coffee cup underneath. Like, it's that hard. So he brings her orange juice, which is nice, in bed. That's the best he can do. He's still trying. I validate trying. I think that's good. And so she comes out to help him cook a little, and she makes bacon, which is an important life skill. Capricorn 11 says, I shouldn't apologize, Brianna, if that's how you really feel. I see why you would say that, but you don't know the backlash that I get behind the scenes. There's a lot of backlash behind the scenes that I will not fill you in on. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. People try to hurt my feelings too. It's a little hostile out there, so I'm going to try to keep it positive. So Chris is trying. She's making bacon. I would like to comment on her adorable pajamas, which had little red cardinals on them. I would wear those pajamas. He wants a kiss. And I'm sorry, I'm looking at Mary's notes, and there's comments about the pajamas. All I want to say is those were cute pajamas, and I would totally wear those fucking pajamas. So they make up, and he's like, can I have a kiss? And can we have sex? So they have sex. Yay. So Chris has to go see parole, and they go outside, and he sees the car. And it's like, girl, you told me the car is in the shop. This is clearly the car. I paid for the car. So why are you lying to me? And she says, well, not for nothing, I have legal problems. My license has been suspended. I'm up for prison time because I did this and that and this and that with a cop. And he's like, what? And then we see her go to the lawyer. So how surprising is this to you? Because I thought Gabby was an upstanding citizen, as I'm sure you all did, for sure. So she's like, I don't want to talk about this on camera, which I feel like I would say that about absolutely everything in my life. And that is why I'm not on a reality TV show. So I'm going to go with, if you don't want to be on camera, don't go on reality TV. But clearly she's got some issues. It seems like it might be some temper issues that, have her in this legal trouble. But this is what her mother was reacting to when she passed her mother that envelope in the store. And for all of you mamas out there, I just want to know, how would you feel if that was your kid? My kid, thank God, my kid is so boring and straight-laced that he never does anything wrong. Like my son, I just want to point this out. My son, who is 30 years old, has still never smoked weed and refuses to even try it. Now, I grew up in a house where not only did I smoke weed, but my parents passed the bong to me. And I am talking extremely successful, like self-made millionaire tech people. So I'm not saying like I come from some kind of low rent household with like uneducated people, but seriously now, like, how would you feel if this were your child? I'm looking at the comments now. They're Walmart pajamas because I had the same exact print nightgown last night. Says Wendy Williams. Okay, so I have some Kate Spade pajamas that look the same but don't have cardinals on them. We need to find out more about these pajamas. That's what I think. So are they fireproof, the pajamas? The mama told us she had charges. Yes, indeed. She's using him. I don't trust Gabby. She's probably trying to get locked up to guarantee another season. That's hilarious. I don't know. The mother-in-law says she assaulted a police officer. Never a good idea, right? Now, again, I have a 30-year-old, and one thing I reinforced every day of his life was, son, please do your homework and never assault a police officer. Like, that's it. Don't be a bully, do your homework, and never assault police officers. Is that so much to ask? I don't think so. Anyway, so she goes to the lawyer. Chris is worried because he's like, if you're a felon and I'm a felon, we can't be together. And this could be a problem. So valid. And the lawyer is looking at her like, what the actual fuck, girl? Like, what are you talking about? You assaulted a police officer. Problematic. Seriously problematic. Let's see what else we say. Maggie says she comes across as a spoiled brat. Not surprised she got into it with the cop. She has no respect for anyone. And Brooke says, I give it an A this episode. I agree that this season is fun. I'm enjoying it. I really am. And maybe it's just because we just pivoted from life during lockup where literally nothing happened. By the way, we were supposed to interview Ty recently, and she had to pick up a body at the time we were supposed to interview her. So that was a bummer. Hopefully we will be rescheduling. But life during lockup was kind of lame, right? Nothing happened. So I agree. It might just be in contrast, but this seems like it's a pretty fun season. What else? Her mouth and her attitude finally caught up with her. I guess you're talking about Gabby. Wendy says, I'll post in the comments when the show is over. LOL. Tell us. Bring it all on. We want all the tea. So let's talk about Cam and Aris, shall we? So I just want to say this. Mary is becoming friends offline with Cam. Apparently, he's a really cool guy. I was a little offended because he posted something about vloggers, and then there was a whole thread that ensued where someone accused me of being an alcoholic and a pill popper, to which I say, fuck you. Like, except for Sunday nights, I'm working full time and I also have 2 freelance clients. So yeah, if I get lit on Sunday nights for our podcast, I'm sorry that I offended you, but whatever. So apparently Cam's a nice guy. I will say this though, how many of you were surprised that his rapping did not suck? Because I find him a little bit annoying. Sorry, Cam, if you're watching this, but like his energy is very Red Bull. He's like Derek that way, where he's just like resonating on a super high frequency. And I also say that as someone whose energy is also like that. Like I have way too much in common with that kind of energy level where I'm always resonating up here. But apparently he's cool. So if Mary says he's cool, I believe him. Anyway, so apparently he's allowed to drink, but not to excess. She does not want to see him having a bottle of Patron on him. And considering that got him from the halfway house, like back into prison because he drank, I do not blame her. I'm concerned about the child, I'm worried that she's bringing a kid in, a convict kid into her daughter Lena's life. Like, be careful who you bring into your kid's life. This is important. Like, don't do it on a whim. So she's upset that he got drunk and sent back to prison, and he's literally like pounding Patron in the car. There's something I would never think about doing. So yeah. Anyway, so they go to, what's that? Catherine says, Brianna, you a super gal. Thank you. Love you. I've had a lot of hate this week, so that means a lot. I've been very attacked on Instagram this week. So all the love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway, Kim and Aris, they go to the studio. And all these guys think they're rappers, but he was actually good, wasn't he? Like, I was shocked. Now, I agree that Michael, Justine and Michael, he's also really good. Like, there was no auto tune on that shit. If you're a 90 Day Fiance person and you've seen Usman, another one of the loves of my life, that dude's auto tuned all the way. And Michael, Mr. Montana Mills, that dude can sing for reals. Cam was much better than I expected. So props, dude. Because a lot of these people say they're rappers, including Harry, Indian Harry. So his friend Nelson does not know him to be the marrying type. But I guess for some people, it just takes that one person and that makes them the marrying type. So you never know. And what was that comment about? She says, what was my sign? It's the gang sign. Janet, thank you. You gave us $5. That is so nice of you. Love you. Thank you. This shit's more expensive than you would ever know, but I really appreciate you, Janet Jenkins. Thank you. So he says he's had a long life of thugging, and this was the first time he's been arrested. That means he's a talented criminal. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. Is it good if you're gonna be a criminal? Is it good that you're a talented criminal or a bad criminal? But I liked his rap. I thought it was really good. And it wasn't just because it rhymed, it had like some lyrical feel. That was a lot more like spoken word. Mo Jones joined us for the podcast. There you go. He's like, Mary's not here, but I'll join us anyway. It was pretty good, right? Anyway, I really hope that he doesn't fuck up because her kid's involved. And that's what's important, you know. Like, don't fuck with the kids, seriously. So anyway, what was highly amusing to me is they go to the shop so he can buy a tux or a suit, and his sisters show up. And they're adorable. I find the sisters to be adorable. And they're like, we do not know what's going on. What? This dude getting married? I don't know about that. But unlike like the what's his name sisters, Derek's sisters, these sisters are cool and they're fun. And I enjoyed seeing them. Whereas Kim, all respect to you and your rapping, you're a little, what can I say? A little Red Bull for me. I'm super hyper and I drink a lot of coffee. Like, I'm a highly caffeinated individual, and he's got me feeling like, calm down, breathe, calm down. But outside of that, like, his sisters seem cool as hell, you know? And I hope that Aris isn't making a bad decision, because sources say that they are already married. So, I mean, her kids at stake. And I just hope they're not making any mistakes. And oh my God, I'm looking at Mary's notes and she says something about the George Jefferson suit. I kind of liked the suit, Mary. I thought that it was kind of a cool suit. Be different, you know. Wear something different. I'm all about it. Thank you, Capricorn 11. Thanks for taking pity on me out here alone trying to make it work. So Christy says, yes, his sisters were actually decent enough to communicate with RS. Yes. I like the sisters. We all like the sisters. Nothing like Derek's sisters, right? So did I leave anyone out? Or are there any people that we're missing here? We talked about Monique and Derek. We talked about Justine and Michael. We talked about Chris and Gabby. We've talked about Cam and Aris. Anybody else that I've missed? I don't know if I'm missing anyone because I didn't take notes. Mary took notes, sent them to me, and said, sorry, I can't be on the podcast tonight. If I missed any couple, I apologize. I am finding this season highly amusing. Does anyone disagree? Is there anything anyone else would like to say? I'll pause for the delay here. Anyone think this season sucks so far? Just asking. And don't be shy. I just got diet root beer up my nose. Nathan and Skylar, no, we talked about him. We talked about them, Crystal. What else can you say about him? Except bad facial hair and calm the fuck down, dude. Seriously. Nathan and the N-bomb. Totally not okay. Ever. And let me say this. I have said how much I think that Michael of Justine and Michael, Mr. Montana Mills, he's hot as hell. He has used the N-word to refer to one of his children, and it's a variation on the N-word. I refuse to repeat it because I am a white woman and I don't like it. So it's never, never, never okay. Catherine says it's funny. So I'm assuming you mean this season, to which I respond, I agree with you. Any other comments? Brian, I'm sorry you're late too. You missed all the exciting action with me and being alone by myself. Fascinating. I'm going to pause for a couple more seconds to make sure there's no other interesting commentary. And if I did miss a couple, I'm sorry. I'm doing my best here. And I did not take notes because I was doing some freelance writing. I have a lot of freelance work right now. Anyway, I think this season is funny too, Catherine. I'm enjoying it a lot. And I hope that you are all having a wonderful weekend and that you have a great week. And if you watch 90 Day Fiance, enjoy it. I hope the tell-all, if this is number 4 tonight, right? Catch Mary's 90 Day Oy Vey tomorrow. I'm sure it will be hilarious. And that's that. That's all I got for you. But again, thanks to those of you who contributed to the super chat. Really lovely of you. And we cannot appreciate you more. We adore you. We can't believe you even show up. So thanks for that. And feel free to leave your comments on this video. Click the like button, subscribe to our podcast, and let us know if there's more we can do or less we should do. All those things. Take care. May your week be peaceful and healthy and safe. And we will see you back here again next time.